Your choices lead to your fate. I burn like the dawn.
Yeah, sorry. Now it should be good, right? Everything's okay now. I said hello to everyone. I said hello to everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Not the pre-roll ads, man. Hello, Gaming4Hope. Hello. We're gonna start in a few minutes when everyone is here, everyone's set up. What's up, guys? Has everything been okay with everyone? Did you guys hit the gym? Took your dog out for a walk? Hello, Alan Fresh. How you doing? Doing good? Cool. What you eat today? Uh, tortillas with eggs. Sticky Sock, thank you for the prime. I
Awkward
really
is
appreciate it. Thank you so
pathetic.
much.
He thinks just because he goes to the
That's
gym, he's the
crazy. I
best
did
human
those
on
it.
earth.
Oh, damn. Hey, Aqua, what's up? Deleted, how you doing? Am I reading the title correctly? Yes, you are correct. What's up, Everson? Hello, Shlula, how you doing? Went to the store, then came back and made tortellini. Goddamn. Hello, Vitim. Good, good to hear. How you doing? Doing good, XDR. How about yourself? May smash or pass. Be honest. I'm not attracted to fictional characters. And if that's your thing, well, good for you. But I would save it to myself. XDR, what kind of a question is that, bro? Oh, man. What kind of a question is that, XDR? For context, okay? XDR is asking, I have a question for you. Do you think you'll die in this war? Hopefully not, you know? Hopefully not. What the fuck? Hello, Yil.
Awkward is pathetic. He
Yo,
thinks
thank you
just
for gifting a
because
sub
he
delete
goes
to
to the
Game for
gym,
Hope.
he's
I
the
really, really
best human
appreciate it.
on
Thank you
earth.
so much. I'm from Saudi Arabia and afraid of North Korea.
Bruh.
Hello, hello. Currently at an off angle watching this live. Okay. Gaming, you ready? Gaming, I'm gonna make a call. You ready? Are you coaching him on tank? I think so. Whatever he plays, yeah. What's the lore behind the guy saying awkward think he's the greatest because he goes to the gym? I'm new here. I don't know. Some dork on YouTube made a video that I'm a big bully and just crying. But just like how Tyler the creator used to say, cyberbullying isn't real. Just turn off your monitor. Ready? Okay. Let's do it. Let me set up the Discord call. Give me 1 second. I'm sending you a call. Hello, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How about yourself, Gaming?
I'm doing pretty good today, man. We're hydrated, so that's half the battle. I feel like today it's been hot.
I'm not, so I'll take a drink for you.
That's a good idea.
So give me 1 second. I want to put you on the screen so everyone can see. Give me
Sure.
1 second. There you go. Let's just put a full screen on this. Wait, that's the wrong one. Give me 1 second.
No, you're fine.
Takes me some time. I'm sometimes very
Awkward is
technologically
pathetic.
illiterate.
He thinks just because he goes to the gym,
Yeah,
he's the best
as
human
much
on
time as
Earth.
I spend with technology, it's probably embarrassing that I am as technologically illiterate as I am. So,
How the hell do I put you on full screen? So,
oh, the Discord call.
yeah. Like, how do I do
You'll
the
have to put
pop
it
out here?
over.
The pop out.
Oh, the
Yeah.
pop out.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to be giving you a video feed.
Can you do that for a
Do you want
second?
one?
Awkward
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
for a
can. I
second.
don't care. I got my
Pathetic.
camera on anyways.
He
I'm gonna
thinks
record
just
it. So.
because he goes to the
See if
gym,
it'll
he's
turn
the
on.
best
Okay,
human
here we
on
go.
Earth.
Okay. Now it's
Maybe.
working. Can you turn it off for
It-
a second and see how it looks like? Can you turn off the okay. Now it's good. Okay.
that
That's
made it worse.
Yeah. No, it actually is pretty good. Wait. I mean, it's now a
Okay.
full screen. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wait. Oh. Boom. Fixed.
Awkward is
There you go.
pathetic. He thinks just because he goes to the gym,
Oh,
he's
wait.
the best human
So
on
many.
Earth.
Thank you guys for the gifted subs, all the subs. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So, Gamin4Hope, who are you, man? And like, how many? There's so many. The reason why, by the way, I contacted you, just I want to clear things up. I contacted you, sent you a message, and asked if you'd like to have a coaching session. I'll be honest, man. I have not heard about you before. I had a bunch of people message me everywhere, like, "Hey, can you coach Go Gaming4Hope? Hey, can you coach Gaming4Hope?" And they sent me like a video that Apply has made or something like that.
No, good lord.
To be
Uh-huh.
to be fair, I haven't watched it for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm pretty busy at at these times.
Yeah, you got a few things going on right now.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And the second thing is that, like, I don't want to kind of look into you much before our coaching, because I want this to be kind of like genuine, and I don't want think to already think things in advance. I'd like to get to know you as a player. So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think while Apply made a video, I've already kind of hit the internet in for positive or worse, but for the last, I guess it's been since May of 2023, I started taking Overwatch fairly seriously. At the time, my goal was to go towards the Overwatch League. I was like silver in support at the time.
Mhm.
I hadn't played Overwatch 1, so I was just getting into Overwatch in general.
Right.
And I wanted to have an ambitious goal, something that I could chase, and even if I failed, I failed. It didn't matter. I wanted to go as hard as I could and press the W key as hard as I could for as long as I could. And I've done that since then. I started on support. I actually one-tricked Baptiste, and like, not just to glaze here, but that was largely because of the Unranked the GM you released.
Mhm.
And
So you're
watched
familiar
that.
with my work, I'm assuming?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
very much so. I'm actually working through the Unranked to GM Zarya you have from. I think it's a little old now, but it's still very helpful.
Okay.
So I did that. I hit Masters 5, but this was in, I think, season 4 or 5, kind of like amidst the rank inflation
Okay.
that I've heard about. So probably more appropriately somewhere in low to mid diamond now. If I were to go grind support again, I imagine I'd be back there.
Okay.
But I switched to tank. I realized that from a stance of wanting to join a team with all the disadvantages I have, I wanted to give myself as many advantages as I could have. And I realized that tanks were in short supply. No one seems to want to play tank. So I picked up tank and started grinding through that. And the reason I think the internet is so aware of me is because I've been plat for 3 seasons, maybe 4.
So
And a lot of it's because
your rank
what's
now
that?
is plat? Just
Yeah, my peak is Diamond 4, but
Okay.
I would say I'm probably a high plat player at this point. I think I still got enough to improve that I wouldn't call myself a diamond tank player yet.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've been plat for a while and have been increasingly frustrated with my lack of progress in the last little bit. and I've just been doing my best to go back and learn, go back to the drawing board, and then Apply made a video. One of his viewers recommended that he goes and reacts to me. He does his thing there, and made some memes, which just sent things to a viral ceiling.
Oh,
And
so
here we
basically,
are.
like you kind of played bad, I'm assuming, and he's like kind of memeing about it, or like
More or less, I was on I did very short version. I got a new account, played
Mhm.
10 games with Doomfist only, had never played Doomfist before, got
Okay.
absolutely dumpstered, and my mentality was shot by the end. So he flamed me pretty good, which I think I probably deserved.
Tilted, flaming your teammates, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
whole
okay,
bit,
okay,
man.
okay. Well, we've all been there. We've all been there, you know. But I have a couple questions that I'm kind of curious about. So you said that you wanted to join the Overwatch League. The question would be just like, for what reason? What is the appeal for to play
At the time,
professionally?
it was because I've wanted to do it for my entire life, and for various life circumstances, I literally have not had the time. Was my excuse for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you either find the time or you're never gonna have the time. That
Mm-hmm.
was kind of my mindset with it, and I looked for the time. I'm married. I have 3 children. So
Okay,
in every way,
that's good.
there's like, yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm happy. Like, don't get me wrong. I love my family. Wouldn't trade them for the world.
Love
And I
to
think
hear
that's a
it.
lot of why my progress has been so slow. Is because I actually don't have as much time throughout the week with all the things they're involved in, and I like to be engaged and involved with my family. So I have not. I mean, I literally put somewhere between probably 6 and 10 hours a week into the game. It is not a lot. Now, is that the reason I'm plat? No, but it definitely has been a contributing factor, I would say, because I haven't been able to as consistently apply the things that I'm learning over that period of time. So fast forward to like the last 2 weeks, and I realized it was time I had to make a change. So I shifted some of my timing and increased the hours, and then spent more of those hours outside of the queue and inside basically just YouTube and watching. Like I said, I've been working most recently through your Unranked the GM Zarya,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's kind
Y-
of where we're
y-
at now.
You also said that it became kind of viral through Apply because, like you said, you're well known for something like being plat for a while. But what makes me curious is like there's so many people like that, they're like hard stuck. They sometimes rage bay, whatever. They my team, blah blah blah. So why are you so popular? Would be my question. How did you become so
because I
popular?
because I think that I land in a very controversial camp to a lot of people. Like I said, I'm married, I have 3 children,
Okay.
and and seriously, I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves and look at the Overwatch community as a whole.
Yeah.
That classification immediately ostracizes me in a lot of ways.
Oh,
So
so,
that, and I talk occasionally, I talk about my faith, and that is probably the bigger one that
okay. So
people
you
will
so you're
like
religious, or you
gravitate towards.
Christian? I'm assuming.
Yeah, Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're Christian and you have a family and you have 3 kids.
Mhm.
So okay, and now I understand why you're kind of like ostracized. Is that the word?
Yeah, that's a
I
good
get
word
it, in
for
the
it. Yeah.
Overwatch. Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, the conservative, blah blah blah. I get it. Okay, I'm now it's starting to make sense.
And now it's all coming
Yeah,
together.
yeah. Now it's starting to make sense. Like the way I like to look at it, the more normal you are, the more I think you're gonna be hated in this specific community. There's some great
There is
people in
something
this
to that.
community. There's some great, like there's some great people,
Oh,
but
for sure.
yeah, but it's like very specific camp. But just put it out there, just people who are leftists. That's just that's just put it
Yeah.
out there. That's the
let's
truth.
just put
Uh,
it the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So,
Christian, you have kids, and you have a wife.
yep.
That's as normal as life gets.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, but by the Overwatch community standard, you suck.
Yep, basically.
Yeah.
And in fairness too, in the game sense, I've got some areas I suck in too, so I'm sure that's part of it. But
That Yeah, but people don't hate you for sucking. I'm gonna be honest. You're probably way better than like 90% of the people who criticize you, anyways. Yes, you're plat, you're
there's
average rank, but most people are average rank or below.
right. That's why
So
it's called average.
yeah,
So
so they
yeah, that's
criticize
exactly
you,
it.
and you're probably better than at least 90% of them. So they don't hate you because you suck or something like that. Trust me, it has everything to do with you living a normal life.
Sure. And there's been some controversies too. Like there's been people that largely because of the faith that I walk out, there have been some controversies over the years. There's people that will tell you that, at one point, and I'm not joking, that
Mhm.
video pretty well takes care of it, but I ended up posting a video because the these rumors about me became so real to people that I had to address it. But
Mhm.
people thought I was like, I'm dead serious. Brace yourself. People thought I was a Nazi member
Okay.
of the KKK. Um,
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
that's just
people
Twitter,
there was
man. In
that's just
Twitter,
Twitter.
Twitter,
Exactly,
everybody calls you
exactly,
a Nazi. Everybody calls you this. Everybody calls you that.
exactly. When they don't have anything else to find on you, they're gonna do everything they can to dig something up. And if they think they did, that's it. So
Okay.
the what is it? Guilty until proven innocent. The backwards, the backwards
Yeah,
realization.
yeah. So I mean, I could talk about this for a long time, but I'm gonna be honest. I really
Me
couldn't
too.
care less about like most of the people in the community. I mean, I think that most people in the community genuinely, like I'll say this truthfully, I think they're just kind of miserable with their life, and all they do is just um, ironically say they're positive people, and all they do is spread negativity and look to criticize every single thing. Because they got nothing interesting going on in their lives. That's just the way it is. I mean, I suffer from it. Everybody suffers from it. That's it's a little bit of a problem, but whatever.
Sure,
Well,
is what it is.
let's get into the gameplay a little bit. So what do you play? You said Doomfist. I'm assuming you're a tank player, right?
Yeah, I don't play Doomfist normally. Let's just put that out there. But yeah, I normally I've been a Zarya main for the majority of my time on tank. More recently, I have started to add into that hero pool Orisa and Ramatra,
Mm-hmm.
or excuse me, Orisa Sigma. I was torn between Orisa and Ramatra,
Mm-hmm.
but I brought in Sigma and Orisa, and then I've started to dabble a little bit in Diva, just to have a little bit more of a high mobility tank. So
Okay. So can you share your screen log into the game? I'd like to observe your profile for a second.
sure, yeah. Give me just a second. I'll boot up the game and I can share it for you.
So what we're gonna do here is I've talked to you. As long as things run smooth, I'd like to do a VOD review and to get into live coaching. I'm gonna be honest, VOD reviews for the most part, for most people, they're kind of boring. Live coaching is a lot more exciting.
Sure. Yeah.
But usually one or the other are a little bit short. That's why we're gonna combine them together. So we're gonna have like a longer session. If everything runs smoothly, when I say with everything running smoothly, if there are no bombs in the way. If there are bombs in the way,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sorry guys, I'll have
yeah.
to leave and come back a few minutes later, unless I somehow unluckily get bombed. So
Yeah. This is life. It's how it goes, unfortunately, for you right now.
yeah. So let me see your profile here.
Yeah. Let's go here. And do you want just this current season or do you want the whole picture?
I would like to see the last season and this season. So this season I see Zarya or Risa Ramatra. Okay.
Yep. And then season 15 was Zarya Sigma Diva.
Okay. So the thing is that you kind of have what I like to call a rainbow profile. It shows a lot of characters, even though you don't necessarily play a lot of hours, but you split between too many heroes that fundamentally, or rather, like fundamentally, they play the same, but it's very difficult to understand the game fundamentally. We constantly switch between heroes that work differently. So what I mean by that is that Zarya is a very immobile hero, right? Which
Right.
means that when you're immobile, you can't compensate for things with mobility. So with Diva, like if you're in danger, you can fly out. With Zarya, you don't have the luxury, and that means that
Right.
you'll have to learn, well, in short, better positioning, how to distance yourself
Correct.
better, how to use cover better, etc., etc. Right? And the
Mhm.
problem between swapping between many characters, what ends up happening is that you are now focusing a lot on how the characters play rather than how the game plays fundamentally.
That makes sense.
So my general tip for people is to pick. For me, it was one tricking was a very very good way to climb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That was how it was for me with BAP.
yeah, people look at one tricking as something that is bad. Now with the hero bans, I can understand the point that maybe you want to have a second character in your
Yeah.
hero pool.
Yeah.
But for the most part, one tricking is really good because what ends up happening is that you actually learn how to play the game. It's not like if you play Zarya and you hit GM with Zarya and you pick Diva for the first time, you're gonna be bronze on Diva. No, you won't
Sure.
because you understand how the game works fundamentally. You understand how to position, when to attack, when to engage, when to disengage, how to use your cooldowns, right?
Yeah.
And learning a character takes a very very short time. We're talking like a few hours to learn the character and how it works exactly, how much the matrix work, like how long is the matrix, how long is the flight, what are the cooldowns. These like maybe 5 hours, 4 hours on the character, and you'll become an expert. But learning the game takes a very long time sometimes. And in order for you to learn the game to the best way possible, you want to stick to at least as least characters as possible.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So since Zarya is your play, I think Zarya generally is a phenomenal choice. If Zarya is banned, you're like, okay, what do I want to play when Zarya is banned? And what do you usually play when Zarya is banned?
If Zarya is banned, I default to Ramatra almost every time.
Okay, but let me
Couldn't
ask
tell
you.
you why. I just enjoy.
Let's say you play like a Gibraltar, Watchpoint Gibraltar. Do you pick Ramatra or Zarya?
If I play Watchpoint right now, I play Diva.
Why is that?
High ground control. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Just being able to get up there.
Yeah, I mean, your answer on paper is correct, right? High ground, Diva can
Sure.
fly, right? But
Sure.
Translation, it's very difficult for me to control the high ground with Zarya, so let me swap to something that is easier.
Sure, that's a good point.
Right. So so the short answer is that you're quote unquote taking the easy way out. But when you take the easy way out, you're taking away the best opportunity for you to learn. If you
Okay,
manage
yeah.
to play Zarya on Watchpoint Gibraltar, you're able to play it on any map.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So send me, like you said, you wanted to send me a specific code. We can
Yeah.
go into it.
I was gonna say, I think I sent it to you, but I can pull it up if you need me to as well. Over to. If I can remember how to do this, good lord.
Yeah, it's the replays.
Yep,
Not game
and there it
record, yeah.
is. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. Do you want me to just screen share, or do you want me to just let you pull up the code and I can pull up your?
I'll
do
just
you want to
I'll
stream it to
just
the
type
Discord?
it out. You can just show me this one, RP1.
Yeah, RP1XKA. It
Why did you choose that code specifically out of curiosity?
was a close game, and I feel like it was close, and that I could have been the difference and won it, but I wasn't. So I want to see where I could have done better because I know I could have.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen now. Tell me if you can see it in just a second.
Let me pull up Discord here.
So again, we're gonna do the
Here.
boring stuff, and I don't want to dwell too long on the VOD review itself. I just want to point out the mistakes for you so they're very clearly visible, and then we're gonna move on to the gameplay itself and try to fix those mistakes in practice. Okay?
Sounds great. Yep.
Okay. So you tell me if you can see the screen.
I can. Yep, everything's there.
Okay. So you're playing Sigma here, or you just,
I think I started out on Sigma. I don't remember. I think I made a couple of swaps this game, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay. Do you have a Zarya one? Because I'd like to actually work on your Zarya.
Sure. Let me pull and see what I got. I probably do. It will just take me a second to find one.
So the first, just like first thing in this coaching session, stick to one character for the most part, right? Try to avoid
Sure.
swapping in the middle. You lose, you're getting destroyed. The answer is not let's swap to make things easier so I can win the game, or rather like let me use my head to figure out how I'm getting destroyed. Let me see how I can get destroyed less. What adjustments do I need to make? Oh shit, it's hard. Well, let's try to make it work because it's a really good learning opportunity.
Right. Honestly, that's how I used to think when I was playing BAP. I don't know why that shifted in my head.
I think that when you stream, right, and when you do YouTube, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm completely off, but you're getting judged by a lot of people. And
Oh, sure.
you
Yeah.
know, for the most part, we can say like, it doesn't really get to us, but you especially when you're criticized for being quote unquote bad person, bad player, whatever, right? You don't
Sure.
want to give fuel to people to prove that you're actually a bad player, right? So like when
Sure.
things go bad, you're like, shit, you know, like, do I really want to take the hit in front of these people, or like, do I swap and make things easier so it looks like I'm just a better player?
Yeah. That's a fair point, and I think that there's a lot of validity to what you're saying too.
Right.
I've dug back a little bit, and I think the only one I've got a game where I majority play, like 85% of it was Zarya, and it was
Okay.
a loss. I think that's probably gonna be my best one.
Sure. You can can you
so-
read it out? I'll tap it.
Yeah, I got you. Give me just a second here.
But you see, the fact that it took
It's-
you so long to find a game from start to finish, you play one character is a very, very big problem. Very big problem.
That's fair enough. Yeah, no, I think that's a very good point. A is alpha, so 0. N is in November.
Well,
3,
you
3,
can
2.
just say the words. I'm getting confused when people use the words. So just like say
Oh,
the
like,
letters.
okay,
Sorry.
A0N
Mhm.
332.
It's an American thing to say words after each letter. It's way
Yeah,
it's so confusing.
It's an American military thing. Yeah.
So here, starting out. Let me ask you a very basic question. Do you care about the comp that you're running?
No.
Good answer. You shouldn't care. Doesn't really matter what. It doesn't matter what you guys are playing. It's just that it's just gonna in your head. What should really matter is like how you play fundamentally in the basics. There's really no difference if you had an Echo or a Pharaoh or a Tracer. You see them like engaging from an off angle in danger, you just bubble them, right? It makes no
Right.
difference what character. Somebody's in danger, you bubble them. You're in danger, you bubble yourself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh wait, there's no sound. Let me put the sound on.
No, I was wondering about that. I thought maybe it was
Yeah,
me.
usually replays have louder sounds, so let me make sure that it's not super loud, but it's okay.
That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah.
So how do you think you carry Zarya?
An immense amount of damage.
Yeah, short answer, yes. Good kill on the Hanzo. Very good kill. I'm assuming you're trying to bubble that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So from start to finish, let's start with the beginning of the fight. What do you think you could have done better?
Very beginning, I probably could have gone straight as soon as the hazard was on high ground. I don't know why I kept shooting up there because
Right. There
realistically,
was
I'm not gonna hit him.
there was also a moment where you just completely hesitated. You're like you stopped here when he was throwing that rock, that boulder at you. Like kind of paused for
Mhm.
a second. I could have just like ran forward, just took the space. There was nothing stopping you, just literally walking over here and taking that corner. But outside
Good
of
point,
that,
yep.
so you got a kill, great kill on it was Hanzo, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Then you saw the hazard engaging your backline. You try to bubble, you realize, okay, it's out of my line of sight. What should have you done next?
Turned right back to his back line.
Yeah. So essentially, you got a kill, you got an advantage. What should you do when you have advantages?
You just push W.
Yeah, capitalize on these advantages. Figure out who can I kill next. Hanzo kill? Okay, boom, these guys. I promise you, Genji would have been dead. Maybe a Moira with the help of Echo, whatever. The least killable target is the hazard. So turning around to try to deal with the hazard, not a play. Basically, you had an opportunity to literally win the fight right now, and you didn't. Why? Because you're focusing the target that is not going to die instead of focusing the target that actually will die. What do you think about this play?
I think it was better. I mean, I'm shooting a Mercy, which takes out one of their supports, takes out their healing. And
Right.
yeah,
Let me ask
I
you a
mean,
question.
that's-
Let me ask you a quick question. Let me set this up so it'll be easier to maneuver. When you did this, so yeah, now you're plat. Let's assume you're masters for a second. What is the likelihood of you dying here?
Very high.
Why
I'm
is that?
140 HP
140 HP.
and no bubbles.
And you have bubble, but he used it against somebody who's good. He just breaks the bubble, he kills you. Now that specific situation didn't have a lot of damage, but a good hazard could kill you. Now, so it was very risky to push that advantage. I'm not saying it's a bad play. Circumstantially, it was okay, but at least you click W.
Moira's breaking my neck here.
So what are you doing right now here?
Just standing here.
All right. What should you do?
Probably move forward.
Yeah. And where did you default to moving?
With the team.
Why is that?
Oh, it's just a habit.
Exactly. It's a habit, but it makes it a big problem. Like in the future, will be a bigger problem when you try to like play with your team too much, because essentially you boil down your positioning to their positioning, and the problem with that is that these people don't know how to position, and what you're doing is that you're mimicking the positioning of people who don't know how to position. So I'll tell you how I would play the fight. Instead of capping the point, right, what I would do is let them cap the point, already move forward here, send some right clicks, build my ult charge, maybe let them shoot at me a bit, build up my charge with a bubble, something like that.
Sure.
But essentially in my head, damage never stops. I always want to shoot. You said the way the Karens are is damage? You're correct. So instead of sitting on the point, going to your team, I want to do damage. My team can play on my directions. They can play on my tempo, as people say. They follow me. I don't follow them. Why? Because, well, you have to say, I'll say this bluntly. In your head, you have to think they suck, right? And it's not that you like verbally let them know they suck, I'm better or anything like that.
Right.
But like in your head, you're like, they don't know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing, so I want them to play around me.
Makes
Because
sense.
even if you're wrong, and you could be wrong a lot of times, by the way, your teammates could position better than you, but at least there's a learning opportunity there. When
Right.
you walk to your team and they're making a positioning mistake, you're like, oh, okay, what could have I done? I just followed somebody else's instructions. There's no self accountability there.
Yeah.
So you see, before so what are you doing right now?
Standing here, trying
What
to figure out where they're at.
Yeah, what should you be doing?
I'm standing and holding space, doing damage.
Yeah, it's not even about holding. You're holding space here, but the problem is that you're not doing damage. Doing damage here, you're gonna get a kill. Nobody can force a cooldown. Maybe she throws an nade. Maybe she throws a sleep. Maybe you can use the bubble and already get like 40, 50 charge before the fight begins. And then you start beaming. And then the next bubble is gonna be 100 charge. And then you have one bubble left that you can push with. Right? It's about also cycling your cools. But essentially, your ball's down. I want to do damage. This was an okay bubble. Unfortunately, it didn't really work because he just put a boulder at the time. And I like how you're using the corner here. That's good. Okay, farm the bubble. That's good. What do you think about this?
I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest with you.
Okay, how do you think he could have gotten a little bit more value in this fight?
Probably once the hazard goes in, maybe I go past him, and because I mean, he's diving me, so if I just walk away from him, I can go towards his backline and do damage there.
Yeah, you're correct. I think there was a good opportunity for you to, when you see an Echo playing like this, by the way, it's almost an invitation to go forward. The reason being, what do you think logically? Your Echo goes in. Why can I click? Why can I get away with clicking W more?
Because they're all looking at her.
Exactly. There's less people paying attention to me. Essentially, here, if you click W, by the way, especially when you have a bubble full HP and double pocket, just walk over here. I think you can kill them. You can kill Anna at least. Or you know what? If you don't kill her because Moira turns around to help, which is not very likely because you can see she's busy with the Echo, right?
Mm-hmm.
What ends up happening? She's using an aid, she's using a sleep, and now she has no cooldowns.
Right.
And you
Even if
only
you don't
used
kill
one
her, she's
bubble.
down cooldowns.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So you should have just you see somebody distracting for you. Okay, it's an invitation to go in. Assuming you have your cooldown, you have HP. Here they use abilities, they use bubble. Don't think you should have used bubble, but it's fine. Not a big deal. But here at this moment, you're focusing a full HP hazard that in a million years won't die. Instead, what you could have done, ignore him. Ignore him. Boom. Start playing around this corner, start beaming these people down. That's in short.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not gonna like use these vague word tempo, not holding space, not doing this. I'm just gonna focus on very, very basic fundamental things that anyone can understand. Here, you just walked in, he bouldered you. Good play by him. I can say you should have not walked there, but in like it's just everyone is a genius in hindsight. It's not a big deal you dying here. Do you notice that like you're taking 2 steps forward, you hesitate, you look back, and you're just kind of you have a lot of, you don't click W convincingly. Like you go, you look back, you destroy this, you reload, instead of just like walk, just W, just literally just walk W here. He shoots at you, great, bubble, feed me some charge, start being in them around the corner.
Yeah, it's a good point.
There's a lot of hesitation.
Yeah, yep, that is one of my biggest issues right now. Is just being hesitant.
Here, this is you clicking W, great. But I have a question. You walk outside, right? Would you say this is a dangerous position for you?
I would say so. There's 4 of them looking at me, and I have no cover.
Yeah, it is a dangerous position for you. However, what helps you get away with that like danger? What helps you with that?
The bubbles.
Exactly. So you have 2 bubbles. You can walk forward. You pop your bubble, right? And the question is, you pop your bubble. What should you do when you pop your bubbles? You most of the
Walk
time.
forward or move back.
Move forward or move back. Well, move back in one scenario. When should you move back?
When you're in danger of dying.
Exactly. Are you in danger of dying here?
I would say not. No.
No, absolutely not. You're almost full HP. You have a mercy pocket. I'm assuming there's also support behind you. No, just a mercy pocket. That's fine. So use a bubble. You can literally just walk more forward. Worst case scenario, somehow you take so much burst damage. Okay, you have another bubble. But what you should have done is push forward the bubble, try to beam them down, force them back, anchor here. But instead, you use a bubble, but you start going back. Why? No reason. No reason. Now, they were going to win this fight regardless because of the blade, but you know what? Actually, if we talk this through, if you just went 3 steps forward and you start beaming them, you probably have grab here. In Nano Blades, you just grab him, and he's dead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you notice that they are the ones running your team over? It's like they dictate how you they dictate the pace of the fight. They're the ones engaging your team, and you're playing on the defensive all the time.
Yeah, now that you pointed out, that does make sense that way.
And why is that problematic? And just if you think about it, it's like super simply.
Oh, they're going first. If they start the fight, they most likely will win the fight.
Sure, you can say that. They're also the one getting the value out of their cooldowns. They're also setting up way better. Their positioning is gonna be way more advantageous in the fight. And they're allowed to do so because there's literally zero pressure. And there's zero pressure is that you can always point out and say, yes, but I have an Echo and Soldier. Yeah, but in your mind, they suck. I should be the one doing the pressure.
Right, absolutely.
Which you haven't.
No, that's a good point.
And that's why they're running you over. So let's see what happens here. What do you think about this grab?
I don't hate it. I mean, she just used Coalescence. I've now forced her behind a corner. She's low.
Sure, but assuming you even win this fight. I mean, I don't hate it as well. It's just that there's no one to follow up. And all it would have taken to deny your grab is to put a boulder. But even if you get to 2 kills, you still don't grab the point because they still have 25 seconds left and they can re-engage the fight anyways.
I see. Okay.
Just basically this grab doesn't win you the fight.
Right.
That's an indication of not so good grab. Is it bad? No.
But could it have been better? Is the question.
Yeah, but you see you grabbed and then what? Did you cap the point? Did you actually win the fight? Maybe you win, but it's your team doing the killing there. You see, like, your grab didn't really contribute much because they were completely out of the fight. It's just your soldiers that killed 3 on point. That's all.
Yeah.
What should you do now?
Take the space.
Specifically, can you point out where you should go?
Basically in front of where my soldier is, off to the right.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you should go. Where did you go? To the point, to my team. Like, you're defaulting into that. Do you notice?
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah,
I haven't noticed it till now, but I do notice it, yeah.
Right. It's like you're defaulting. You're like, where's my team? I want to go there. In your mind, you should be like, let me go into the good position and my team will play there. And if my team doesn't play there, it's like, okay, I realize my team is not going to play here with me, so I should be ready to disengage. That's all. Most people, when they play in a correct position and their team don't follow up, what they do, go team, what are you doing? Why didn't you follow up on me? But like it's like trying to convince people to play around you. That's never gonna happen.
Right. I agree.
You know what you should do? Okay, they're not playing with me. It means that my good positioning, it's fine. It's not gonna work for a long period, of time. Let me just disengage a little bit earlier. That's all. Essentially, it boils down to all you. You walked in front when in reality you could have just held the corner there easily. If you just hold here, if you don't walk to your team, you can farm your bubble here. You can farm your charge. You can do damage. You can block them here for extra maybe 5-10 seconds, which time is the time on the clock is in your favor because you guys got the point. So what are you doing right now?
Nothing, essentially.
Yeah, nothing. What could have you done that could have been super helpful?
Just stayed on that corner, honestly.
You see Hazard is going on the right, right? You see the Hazard is going on the right. Which means the big bad bully is not there to kind of push you out of this space. Okay, great. Let me hold it. You have 2 bubbles. You can easily fight here with 2 bubbles. They have nothing against you. They don't have enough damage. They don't have enough CC to do anything against you. Absolutely nothing. So here again, you make the same mistake. Notice you bubble, and then what do? You disengage. Use the bubble and disengage. Instead of I use my bubble, let me click W. And when I say use bubble and click W, I don't mean like run over here. I just means
All right, don't run it down. Yeah.
yeah, just go because it's also works in your favor to shoot the bubble. You want to build charge, which is another problem that if you notice that you are very low charge most of the time, and it's because you don't use your bubbles to actually build a charge. Use the bubbles to almost protect yourself. So the bubble should be used for two reasons. Number one, the basic one is to protect yourself when it's dangerous, right? But when is it
Right.
dangerous? Do you think it's dangerous when people are just setting up, walking from spawn, walking through chokes?
No, it's when you're actually in danger of dying. Like you're maybe half of your HP and you're looking at 2 or 3 of them. It might be
Right.
worth using.
Right. And this you're correct. And the second reason as to why you would like to use bubbles is to allow yourself to be more aggressive and extend more, because it allows you to go forward into open spaces in front of enemies without being scared to die.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
I'd like to boil down this into 2 points that I'd like you to work on. This is what we're going to be working on mostly today. I'm not going to go into a bunch of stuff. Just going to work with you with 2 things that are going to change your gameplay. Number
Okay.
one, what we have noticed so far is that you just don't do enough damage. Why? Because you play too overly defensive. You let people have the space. They click W. You're not the one clicking W. Even when you use your bubbles, you're clicking S and not W. You know, you're playing a little bit too scared.
Okay.
And you not playing scared will usually, when you start making that shift, usually it will start with you feeding. But me feeding doesn't mean, okay, I died, I am feeding, let's go back into playing defensively. It's minor adjustment. I click W, I fed. Okay, let's click a little bit less W next time. A little bit, not by a lot, a little bit. Let's still push very aggressive, but not as aggressive, not 100%, 90%. I die again. Okay, let's make another adjustment. Now 80%. Oh, 80% worked. Okay. That's as much as I can get away with.
That makes sense.
Okay. And the second thing is just your bubble usage. And I would like to be very specific. Before the fight, your first set of bubbles is used to get yourself charge. Why do you want to get yourself charge?
To do more damage.
To do more damage, and which will do what?
Allow you to press W more.
Which will do what?
Kill them.
Right, kill them. But let's say, they have good positioning. You don't kill any damage them, right? You don't kill them. They use cover really well. What else are you going to do when you damage them? Outside of killing them and applying pressure. Sorry, I couldn't hear. I was talking. My bad.
No, you're fine. Getting your ult up, correct?
Let's assume you have your ulti.
When you're gonna force cooldowns, you're gonna force them out of position.
That's what I was looking for. Force cooldowns.
Okay.
You force cooldowns.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so in short, tank is a little bit fundamentally different than DPS and support. DPS and support are basically played the same a lot. They played absolutely the same. The difference between support and DPS is support just has extra responsibilities of healing. Tank is played way more fundamentally different. You have to play more patient. When you have to play more patient, what exactly do I mean? You have to play, and you heard it somewhere, cooldown cycles, but I don't want to use these big fancy words, so I'm gonna say it very simply. When enemies have no cooldowns and you have a cooldown, your likelihood of getting a kill significantly increases.
Yeah.
When you do damage, you force cooldown. Let's assume you're standing here, you shoot, right? This guy, whatever. He gets low, Ana nades to protect him, he uses a roll. You have a bubble. Can you push with the bubble?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because he's down to cooldown and I have a bubble available to
exactly.
Keep him from
He has no means of running away from you. Gaming. He can't run away from you. He can't kill you because he has no cooldowns.
I'm tracking with you. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So you want to bait out their cooldowns with your damage and then use your cooldowns to capitalize off the fact they don't have cooldowns. That's how you want to play with your bubbles. First set of bubbles, let me get my charge. Why do I want to get my charge? So I can damage them. Why? So I can actually force them to use cooldowns. And then they have no cooldowns, and I have my bubble back. 1, 2, doesn't matter. Now I can play forward because they have no cooldowns. What is Ana gonna do to me? She has no nade, no sleep. I have a bubble. She's dead. And you already have the charge from before because you used it to cycle the cooldowns. And that will go really good hand in hand with you playing aggressive. Because you playing aggressive means you're probably going to have very high charge all the time.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So these are the 2 things that I'd like you to work on. So what are you gonna be doing right now? You're gonna log into the game. You're gonna be playing yourself. For everyone, we got rid of the boring part of this. Both of yous are boring. I'm gonna be honest. When I was a pro, I hated them. I still did them because, well, it's very important to do to understand the mistakes. But yeah, it is boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe it's not boring for you, but for most people, it is.
No, I honestly, I don't understand. Like, I understand why you do them, right? But it is fundamentally very boring. That is very true.
Yeah. Playing the game and
Alright,
like and actually implementing the device. Yeah, I can see everything. Looks great.
Okay, cool.
So what are you gonna be focusing on, gaming?
Using my bubbles to get charge and then doing damage to force out cooldowns.
Right. So you use your first 2 bubbles before the fight begins to get your charge. And then when the team fight begins, you want to capitalize off the fact that they don't have cooldowns with your bubble. So basically, they have no cooldowns. I have my bubble. I play aggressive. And in general,
Makes
number
sense.
2, what is the number 2?
To do damage and go forward.
Yeah, I would be very careful with the go forward part. It doesn't necessarily mean going forward. They try to look for damage all the time and don't be afraid to be more aggressive rather than defensive. Because if you die,
Got
at
it.
least you can ask yourself, why did I die? And then go off of that. When you play passive, it's very difficult to even learn what you should have done because there's so many options. Why did you die usually has one answer.
Yeah.
Why
true.
did we lose the fight has many.
Yeah. It's a good point.
All right. Are you nervous?
Nope.
Okay, good. If at any point in time you have any questions, something you'd like to bring up, you can just say. But I would just wait until there's like pauses. So I'm gonna give you a kind of like what's gonna happen. The first fight, I want to let you play by yourself. I'm not gonna chime in whatsoever. I want to see how you implement it by yourself, and then I'm gonna help you a little bit. Okay?
Sounds great. Yeah.
At times it's gonna be annoying because it's not comfortable when somebody's talking in your ear. But trust me, it's not about winning or losing here. It's about learning.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Chat, is everything looking good? Is the sound okay? The volume, the quality, is everything okay? I mean, the quality is 720, 30 FPS because he doesn't have nitro, I'm assuming. But, yeah. Now what I expect from him is to use the bubble, the first 2 bubbles, as a charge to get the charge so he can keep beaming. So he needs to play super aggressive now to get the charge. Okay, good. Love it. Another one. Good. And now he has to play passive to wait out for his charge. Come back. Now he needs to play more passive. And now when they have no cooldowns, he should capitalize going forward. Gamin, I have a question.
Yep.
There at that moment, do you think they had their cooldowns?
No.
Did you have your bubble?
Truthfully, I didn't look.
You did. You should have pressed forward that time. The first 2 bubbles were great. That's it. So now, when you don't, by the way, when you use the first 2 bubbles, so that's a mistake you made at the beginning. When you use the first 2 bubbles, of course they're gonna be like, sorry, no bubbles and push. So you have to play a little bit more defensive. Why did you die here?
I stayed too long.
Exactly. So you use the bubble, and you were low HP, and you have no more bubbles, which means, what do?
Need to back up.
Exactly. Why? Because I have no cooldowns to protect myself, and they probably have theirs. So, no bubbles, defensive. Yes bubbles, aggressive. Nice bubble. Nice. Pretty good. No bubbles. Nice. Good movement. Good movement around the cover. You kind of zoned yourself out a little bit there, but it's fine. You have a perk. Really good grab. Good grab. I like that grab, Gaming.
Thank you.
Use your bubble a little bit too late, but good kill. I like that you're being aggressive. Go, push into him. You have a bubble. Go, go.
Cannot
You have no
right
bubble
now.
now. You got getting a little bit too greedy.
Yep.
You know how you could have potentially killed him if you didn't right click. You wasted a bunch of ammo on the right click.
Got it. Okay.
But also good push, but you have to realize that you can't be greedy. As soon as you use your bubble and you don't have bubbles anymore, you can't keep pressing forward. You have to play more on defensive. If you didn't get the kill, that's okay. It's not a big deal. I didn't get a kill, whatever. Let's wait for the next cooldown cycle. Careful, careful. You're by yourself. Even with 2 bubbles, you're probably gonna die here. Okay. Good. A little bit too passive, but I like the fight. Held the corner, you kept beaming, kept doing damage, you apply pressure. Did you notice that when you were beaming more, what happened?
She used a cooldown.
Exactly, she used a cooldown, and then your Cassidy punished her for it. Get back to your team. There's no damage here. Nice bubble, really good bubble. No bubble. I like how you used the bubble there. It was really good. Try to get a kill on the Zen. Didn't work, but it's fine. You lost the fight because they use ultimates. I like how you try to kill the Zen, right? I like how you try to kill the Zen with the bubble. It's really nice. Didn't work, but it was really good. It's not every time that you make a good player, you're gonna get a kill necessarily. Okay. Do you have an advantage?
Yeah, they're down 1.
Okay. Use your bubble a little bit late there, but it's okay. Already start doing damage in advance. Try to apply pressure, try to force their cooldown before anything even happens. I'm gonna give you a tip here. Tresh is gonna pulse bomb. Be ready to save your bubble for it. For somebody else as well. Never mind, she's dead. No bubbles. Advantage. And you have a bubble. Solid push, really good. Solid push, really good. After you killed Cassidy, did you notice that you took 2 steps back?
Yep, I did.
No reason, because there's no one to kill you. No bubbles. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Play more aggressive. Good target. Good target. Really nice. Nice, nice, nice. Really good. That was a really good fight, Gaming. That was a good fight.
Thanks.
Love the aggression. Love the aggression. Horse recall, right?
Yep.
Great. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Get it back. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back. So here it was nice. That's exactly how much you could get away with.
That was like right at the moment.
Yeah, but apply pressure. You have bubbles. They're low. You have advantage. Go. Yeah, leave him alone. Who cares about him? Who cares about him? Let him be somewhere in middle of nowhere. Who cares? Good disengage. Good disengage.
Yeah, it was greedy.
I know why you did it. I like it. I like it. It was not a right grab because it's like a desperate move before you die, but your team was there to kill us. So that situation was good, but generally speaking, it's should make a desperate move. I'm dying, let me grab. Like a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you're backing out when you have two bubbles? What was the problem here?
I stayed after I used both bubbles.
Yeah, but you also kind of overextended. So the hazard jumped on your back line. I'm not saying that you should have protected from hazard, but usually when he uses a cooldown, right, and you don't have charge,
Right.
you don't have enough damage to deal with it. So what you should do is, okay, they use cooldowns. Let me defend myself against those cooldowns and capitalize with mine. Basically, when they use cooldowns, you don't want to press forward. You want to kite back. Like now. They use coalescence, you kite, you wait. Let them use the cooldowns, and now you can re-engage with your bubble. Go. That's too far away now.
Yeah.
But you see, they use coalescence, all we have to do is back out. You have no bubble, which means... you have advantage, let's push. What do you think about this fight, Gamin?
I was not in it.
Yeah, you weren't in it. You weren't doing damage. Your bubbles didn't really get any value. Because you used them on people that were not really in danger. What should you be doing right now?
Looking to farm up some charge.
Right, absolutely. Okay, go, 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 go. Oh, no, okay. Nice. Go, kill this guy. Or... nice. Solid. Next guy. You got him. You almost killed yourself with that right click, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
You paused the shot. Let me click tab again for everyone to see. 26, 5, 10k damage in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the game?
It felt a lot better, without a doubt.
Way better. Way better. That was as smooth as that was as smooth as I expected you to play, you know?
Sure.
That was pretty
I appreciate
good.
that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that one. Yeah.
I told you what to do. I gave you feedback. Boom, you just applied. Was it smooth? Was it the best ever? No, but it was really good. Did you make
Yeah,
mistakes?
I think it went pretty good. Yeah. Definitely made mistakes, but that's the thing. I made mistakes and can learn from them rather than not ever making them in the first place.
Yeah. But do you notice what we just did? We just went over two simple fundamental things that you just had to implement. I didn't go over every single thing that you have to do on Zarya. Not like we just went over how do you want to use your bubbles in the very simple, like in the most simple way possible. It's so simple that you might think, is he actually like, does he think that I'm dumb? Is they what he's like talking like that?
No.
but it really isn't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I keep it simple because the game is simple when you boil it down to very fundamental low pieces.
Yeah.
And these
Yeah,
things
it worked out.
and these things are what makes 95% of the game. These fundamental basic concepts. If you can do them well, that's what will get you to champion. I'm just saying in general. The 95% will get you to champion. What will get you from champion 5 to champion 3 into actually being rank 1 is the other 5%, the little nuances here and there. You know?
Right.
I should have
Sure.
jumped to the top right with the Zarya instead of the top left. I should have targeted, like, at that specific moment in overtime, I should have shot the Diva. You know, these little stuff.
Right. At that point, those nuances matter. Up until then, it doesn't.
Yeah. And a lot of people get preoccupied with little nuances when they are in plat, diamond, even GM. You don't even have to worry about these things.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So, what did you learn today?
Just learn to be more aggressive when you have an advantage, and just stop being passive when you have those advantages.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a couple times where you caught that habit of me walking back with 2 bubbles, or high charge and 1 bubble, and I'm still walking back. And when it was pointed out, it was like, and it started to click, I think, a little bit more over the next little bit as I noticed that habit. And when we pointed it out from the VOD, we implemented it in the gameplay. I feel like that's really the part that resonated with me the most.
And the crazy part, it was just one game. All it took is
Yeah.
one game for you to be laser focused on the low things that you have to work on. The two basic things that you have to work on to just put a performance like that. And I'm gonna be honest, you carried that match, by the way. Did
That
you
felt
play
good.
a fight here and there not so great and your team clutch? Sure. But for the most part, you were the one in charge of the fight. You were the guy dominating the lobby. You had the second most kills. You had the I think second most damage, maybe. Can I see your Zarya stats really quick?
Yeah. Let me go here, history. Oh, you want just like my general or from
No,
that
your
game?
general, just the Zarya. What you showed me at the beginning, just click on the Zarya specifically. Scroll down a bit.
That's this season.
Yeah, pretty good performance. Your damage, by the way, your damage overall can be a lot higher. 10k damage is not bad by any means, but it can be higher, especially when you're playing against people who just have really poor positioning.
Right. Because
You know?
by nature of that, you can, as long as your charge is up, you can really get them too. So.
Yeah, but the damage is gonna naturally increase when you stop defaulting to walking with your team when the fight is over, or like going to the point when the fight is over. But I already think, okay, fight is over. Let me go. Right clicks. Let me go shoot them up a bit. Let me charge my with my bubbles, charge myself my bubbles. And also, when you start utilizing your bubbles to charge yourself before the fight begins, naturally gonna have more damage. It's because you are maintaining high charge in the fights.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, pretty good. Is there something
Thanks,
you'd
man.
like to ask? What questions do you have?
I think honestly, just implementing these things alone will push me much further than I am right now. Breaking, because you're certainly not the first person to point out I've always kind of referred to it as my passivity problem, where I just sit AFK, or I don't push an advantage, or whatever. That whole classification that we just went through in much simpler terms, but that I think is in and of itself is going to change things quite a bit. The other thing too, so I should ask this question in regard to one tricking, because I've honestly been a pretty big advocate for it until hero bans myself, and the hero bans obviously shift a lot. At maximum, they can ban 2 tanks, and the likelihood and the odds are not high that, if I say that I'm going to play Zarya and D.Va as my secondary, that it's not likely that the 2 bans they happen to get that game are Zarya and D.Va.
Yeah.
But you just kind of wing it for those games in your mind, like try your best with a different tank kind of thing, and then move on.
So the likelihood of Zarya ban may be high, maybe not, doesn't matter. You try to play Zarya. Okay, that doesn't work out. I'm going to my secondary D.Va. They ban it as well. Whatever, I'll just play something. But that doesn't happen very often. It's like it's not gonna be a big part of the learning, anyways. It's like, okay, they banned 2 of my characters. Let me try to win the game here, and that's it. Move on to the next where I can play Zarya.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's kind of what I was thinking too. I've probably overcomplicated that in my mind. So yeah, I definitely will work on that. Any suggestions on a secondary hero would be my final question. Zarya to
whatever you like. Don't.
Yeah.
What I'm definitely asking you not to. You see map high grounds. Don't be like, oh, I need to play D.Va. No, fuck it. I'm gonna play Ramattra. I'm gonna play Zarya. Yes, they suck. They suck more than D.Va at these maps. They're gonna be a lot harder. But the basic question that I can ask you. So Zarya is hard on Gibraltar, and you will lose because you play Zarya. And if you play D.Va, you might have won. The basic question: if you took the rank 1 tank right now to play instead of you, would he be able to win the game? On Zarya.
I would say they probably 100%. Rank 1 tank right now, put him on watch point with Zarya, they can win it. Sure.
Exactly. And people are like, yeah, but I'm not the rank 1 tank. But that's not the point. The point is that in order for you to be better, just like the rank 1 tank, is not to be like, oh my god, it's a high ground map, I need to play Diva because Zarya is not good in high ground map. No, he plays Zarya, say, you know, like, fuck it, we bowl. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Uh,
We just, I lose, doesn't matter. I'm trying to improve. I don't care. You shouldn't care about winning and losing. You should care about improving.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
play,
That's something I'm working on.
people who play to win, they don't improve. It sounds
Yeah.
kind of like counterintuitive, but it's the truth. When you play to improve, you have an understanding that you're gonna suck for a bit, and it's gonna be tough, and you're gonna lose a bunch
Mhm.
of games because you're being stubborn. But it's for your learning ability. It's for your improvement. But once you improve, all of a sudden you start winning way more. Improving is a good strategy for the long term to win. Winning is the most horrible strategy you can think of to improve, and by extension, not win in the future.
Yeah. It's a horrible cycle.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That all makes sense.
Yeah, you've been pretty pleasant. So I don't know. I don't know
Like
why
I said,
people are mad.
yeah, people are mad. I just read a book, and this is seriously, it's one of the most wonderful books I've read in a long time. It's the literal title is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah, I know that
And
book.
yeah, it's a great book. And literally, it was a kind of ironic because one of the things you're constantly talking about is literally one of the principles that is in that book. It's kind of ironic, but anyway, he talks about just taking responsibility. It doesn't always mean it's your fault. Whatever life throws at you is not always your fault, but you can't change that. You can take responsibility for it and adapt to it, or you can become a victim and you'll never make progress in your life. And that's obviously true in Overwatch too. If you just sit there and whine about your teammates this or whatever, you're never going to make progress. And I think that's primarily one of the biggest problems I had over the last at least 2 seasons is that I just kind of went into this horrible spot where I didn't ever flame anybody outright, but I was also pretty passive aggressively
Mm-hmm.
blaming the teammates and then not really taking any ownership of what I could have done. Like I
Yeah.
might say it out loud, like, oh, I could have done something better that fight, but I don't get specific. What could I have done better? And it doesn't matter if you didn't get specific, you didn't actually do anything. You just said it. It doesn't help. So
I'm a big advocate for self accountability. It's the only way forward. It's the only way to be good at anything. It's the only way to improve. And the blaming your teams thing. It's like, you know, because you said you're a Christian. It's like we're all prone to sin. But the idea is
yeah,
not about not sinning. It's about realizing that you sin and trying to not do it. You know, it's about the
right.
trying. So like I wouldn't say you should not tilt because that's impossible. You will get angry. You will sometimes like, oh man, what is my team doing? But it's about the idea of catching yourself doing it and saying, you know what? Like
It
I
doesn't
know,
matter.
yeah, my team sucks, but what can I do better?
Yeah.
I would have won if my team was better, but it doesn't matter. I can't change it. It's not gonna change, doesn't matter.
Yep.
So what can I do better? I am angry, I'm tilted. Regardless, what can I do better here?
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, because also like why waste energy on other people? Like why people sometimes care so much about flaming other people and like giving them advice. Why would you use your precious time to try to help people become better at the game that you're playing instead of using these resources, which is, you know, your own energy and your brain on yourself?
Yeah.
Should be selfish about those things. These
Yeah,
people are not
absolutely.
your kid, they're not your wife,
Right.
you
Not
know?
worth investing into. Yeah.
Exactly. So like instead of saying DPS, you should do this, you should be like, why am I telling him what to do? I should just tell myself what to do.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's been pleasant. It was short, but I want to be super boring. I think it was pretty straight to the point. We kind of found a couple of fundamental mistakes, which
Yeah.
are the way you use your bubbles. You want to use the first two to get charge. When you use the first two, make sure that you don't die because now they realize Zarya no bubbles they're gonna push. Because when they
Mhm.
have cooldowns and they have cooldowns, by the way, they also extend to ultimates. Ultimate is a cooldown, just like a very big cooldown.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have
That makes
cooldowns.
perfect sense.
What do? I don't want to try to battle out in their cooldown. I want to kite it out. I want to move back, use the cover. Oh, they have no cooldown. You're helpless. Now I go with mine. What is mine? My bubble.
Mhm.
You get it?
That
Like Moira coalescence. Great. Kite out the coalescence. Now Moira has no coalescence and they have no nade. And the Ramatra was pushing forward with his abilities because they use coalescence. Now they don't have anything. Now I go with mine, with my bubble.
yeah.
And the
Yeah.
second thing is you generally play more aggressive, and that's gonna help you understand how to cycle your bubbles way better to keep the charge and protect yourself. And also, it's gonna go hand in hand with charging your bubbles at the beginning to maintain high charge. Maintaining high charge means a lot of damage every time. You have to understand, when a Zarya is high charge and dealing damage every second of the fight, before the fight, after the fight, when they're trying to run away, it's so much pressure. So much pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very difficult to deal with. And it's gonna force their
I-
cooldowns,
yeah.
and then they have no cooldowns, and now you can capitalize with your little bubble.
Yeah, that's it. With a high damage and a bubble, that's all you need.
Perfect.
Right
It
on.
was a pleasure working with you. It was a pleasure coaching you, and I think that you did phenomenally. And all you have to do is just focus on these two concepts until they feel like it's so easy for you to do. Oh, that was a good bubble. Oh man, I have really high charge all the time. Oh man, I'm beaming them down. These are the only two things that I like you to focus for at least the next few days. How you utilize
Yeah.
your bubbles, and how aggressive you play. That's all. And how like you kind of capitalize off the fact that they don't have cooldowns with your bubble. That's what I mean.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that, and I'll shoot you back a message once I've gotten some
Yeah,
progress.
I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to hear back from you. You can send it within the first 24 hours. Let me know how the games went after. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. I'll definitely do that. I appreciate the help.
Happy to help, man. You have a lovely rest of the day, Gamin4Hope.
You too. Yeah, good luck with everything.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I don't that was good. And that was a pretty good productive coaching session. I think he was very receptive to the feedback, and he definitely seemed like a normal person. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't heard of him that much beforehand. I see that a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people told me he's getting flamed online, and he's like saw so many posts about him, whatever. But I'm assuming that's because he's Christian and he has a family, and he's I'm assuming like conservative. So, in this game where it's a lot of leftists play the game, they're probably gonna just hate him just for that. So it's alright. I get that. Pretty good. I don't know why you hate, dude. You know, out of all the people that I've ever like seen in Overwatch, streamers, YouTubers, seems seems pretty normal. So funny. What's your skincare routine? I don't have a skincare routine, man. I'm saying that most people that take Overwatch this seriously are not taking their own life seriously. The guy coach needs to hit the gym. Well, just because you take something seriously doesn't mean that you don't take your life seriously. It's like as long as you are establishing that this is a hobby that I want to be good at, that there's no problem with that. I mean, I think that if you do something, at least do it good. Like imagine spending so much time on a hobby and just be average after so many years. It's I, I would like if I did something for years and I was average, I would be fuming, and I would be so angry with myself. I would lose all confidence. I was like, I'm not a competent person. Will he be joining Rank Up Academy? He's more than welcome to join Rank Up Academy. Rankupacademy.gg. He's more than welcome to join. He's gonna get coached. You were getting rezzed during the coaching? Okay. What do you think of A10 Zarya guides from back in the day? I think that the A10 is a good Zarya, but I haven't watched his guides, so I don't know. Do you have days where your aim is off, and what do you do if so? I play the game and say, oh man, I have an off day with my aim or something, whatever, and then just wake up the next day and everything's okay. He just wants to climb an Overwatch. You respect that. It's BS how much taste he gets on TikTok. Can you invite him back for Doom coaching? Is his Doom just really, really bad? Is that why you're saying that? You coaching more people today? No. I just wanted to keep it very straight to the point, you know, like I didn't want to continue this. Like 1 hour is very, very good. By the way, most people hate this guy because he took no accountability and blame his team during an entire VOD review by apply. Has nothing to do with Christian. That's a fair point. If he did that, that's a fair point. But I think that we all kind of like sometimes like let's not kid ourselves. Who doesn't blame his team? Like who in this game never blamed his team? I think I'm the person that blames his team the least in this game, and I still do it sometimes. So and also somebody and it's also somebody like, let's be real, guys. The Overwatch community would not hate you from saying, "Oh my god, my team is not performing well." Let's not kid ourselves here, you know? Come on. Stop with the BS. Like, as if I haven't played Overwatch since 2017. Like, I don't know what's going on Twitter. Please do me a favor. I appreciate the coaching, Aqua. I definitely made mistakes in Doom VOD, did apply review, but I owned that after the fact in the comments and thanked him for pointing it out. That's a good thing. How do you work on consistency? How come you make good fundamental decisions one game and then do stupid shit the next? Because maybe when you have really one good game, you're assuming that, oh, now I can chill in autopilot and my autopilot is good enough. When in reality, no, you just have to keep consciously thinking about it. Did you see the apply video? I'm gonna be honest, I haven't. I clicked on it for like 2 seconds and then I but maybe had a siren, just didn't get back to it. So I didn't really watch it now. You should watch it. Why? I just had a lovely session with the person. Why would I want to? Why would I want to focus on something that happened like a few days ago or a few weeks ago when the person of today is not necessarily the person of 2 weeks ago? Apply is Will Tennyson of Overwatch? I don't know. I don't watch Apply, man, but I like Will Tennyson. Do pros actively think about positioning or is second nature to them? Mostly it's second nature. It's mostly second nature at this point, but sometimes they do. Depends. So the key to consistency is to keep being focused. Yes. We need some boxing metaphor. Don't worry, working on it. I already have a list, bro. And I have a list for TikToks and like short form content about the boxing metaphors. I have a bunch. I have like 10. Isn't thinking about too many things mid game also going to lead to analysis paralysis? Well, I'm never a big advocate of thinking about too many things. You want to focus on like 1, 2 things max. Wasn't there a thing about him quitting his job to play Overwatch while having 3 kids? Why everyone's flaming him? I don't know. I don't know how he. I mean, unless he won the lottery, I don't know how he can live with a wife and 3 kids without having a job. So I'm just assuming he's employed. That kind of goes to another. That kind of goes to another point. Like people don't have critical thinking. How could a person be unemployed with 3 kids and a wife? It's physical. Like it's impossible, unless he won the lottery. And if he won the lottery, well, good for him. Like people think for a second. Most people can't even live by themselves. No kids, no wife. Classic awkward forming contrarian viewpoints and turning this into I don't know why the internet hates the guy. He's just a good family man. Like most people don't care about this guy being Christian. First of all, I don't know. You're acting as if I know what is happening to this guy personally. I have never heard of him until like a few days ago. That's the first thing. The second thing also is that he seemed like very pleasant. He said, I have a wife and 3 kids. And he seemed like a pretty normal dude. I don't know. But let me tell you something. In the community of Overwatch, if you have a wife and 3 kids and you're a Christian, you're bound to be hated. Why? Because it's the base on Twitter and the base on social media are people who are leftist. The fact that you live a normal life, they're gonna hate you for it. Oh, you have kids? Well, I'm not gonna have any, and I'm not gonna have any ever, so I'm gonna hate you for it. Pretty straightforward. Like, let's be real. Like, how many people? Like, I'm gonna be brutally honest here. How many people in the Overwatch, like the people that you see on Twitter, on the community, how many of them do you actually think are gonna have kids? How many of them do you think would have a woman to agree to even have a kid? Zero. I mean, Loki, I'm kind of right. Watch the apply video. The guys seem annoying as fuck. Okay, it could be. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Could be. But I'm judging people based on my experience with him. You know, he was a pleasant dude here. He was definitely not annoying. He was very receptive. He was very respectful. That's what matters. Why is having kids talking point here? Because it's my stream and I'm gonna talk about whatever I want. How the question is that? It's so clearly a farm for content, claiming he wants to hit Overwatch League when he barely plays the game and plays his team. Okay, but it's working. I mean, considering I have heard of him and I have a bunch of people messaging me to coach him, I guess it's working. So he must be doing something right, and he's gonna make some money off of it. So good for him. I read he quit his job and then moved his family in with his parents so he could stream Overwatch.
Bruh.
You know that. I mean, I talked back and forth with him on Twitter just to schedule, and he said that he is like he has a full-time job and he gets off work. So I'm gonna assure you, unless he was lying to me, that he's employed. He said that he's like, I can do like between 6 and 8 because I get off work at like 5 or whatever. So yeah, I believe he's employed, unless he's lying. But I don't know why would anybody lie about being employed. I don't know. I don't know why would anybody lie about being employed. It's crazy. Just what I read. You probably read it from miserable people on Twitter. Let's come on. If you believe everything that you read, I'm like I'm sexist, I'm homophobic, I'm racist. You know, I'm a murderer. Yeah, like if we believe everything, let's just fucking believe that as well. I fucking murder people. I'm atheist phobic, everything. He seems like a decent dude. He just look at dumb politics and doesn't understand how internet discourse works. Okay. I felt bad for him when people flame him for the crying baby, but the truth is, baby's crying. His wife was taking care of the baby while he was playing the game. People have no idea how to take care of a baby, but they have most to say. Wait, can baby crying? What's the problem with the baby crying? What, what's the problem with the baby? No, newsflash, guys, babies cry. You know, newsflash, babies cry all the time. He was screaming and his baby was crying. Wait, he was holding his baby like here and he was playing and his baby was crying. You just ignored him or what? Oh, his wife is literally so his baby was crying and his wife took care of it. Well, okay, what's the problem? Oh my god. I mean, I get it. It's a joke. I get it if it's a joke, but it's so hard for me to believe that these things were made to be a joke. I think it was made to kind of like as the truth. Wife takes care of a baby. I know, 2025, hot take. The wife is taking care of a baby. I know it's hard to grasp for some people on Overwatch. Women feed babies. I know. I know. Guys, don't sue me. I'm going to play in this stream, not very likely. Do you always have earphones? No, I just use them after I take a shower, so I don't have the dent. All right, guys. It's been a lovely stream. It was a short, lovely stream, but I usually don't want to do long stream. Number one, because it's 1:30 a.m. And number two, every time guys, for the past few days, I've been so fucking busy with so many things, and I went to sleep so late, like 4 or 5 a.m. And then I have sirens at 6 a.m. They wake me up with these fucking bombings at 6 a.m. and I sleep for an hour. And because I have to go down to the shelter and there's a bunch of people there and everybody's talking, all of a sudden I find myself at 6 a.m. fully awake after I went to sleep at like 5. And then I go fucking tired the entire day. It's pissing me off, man. What does the 198 mean? It's just sub count. Which sub count? Stream in shelter? You know what? We actually have Wi-Fi there, but I'm not gonna do it. Hi. Thank you guys, by the way, for watching. It's you know, I enjoying doing this type of coaching content. And it's been a while since I've been with such a controversial figure. So you guys have a lovely rest of the day, lovely rest of the night. And if you'd like to receive coaching just like Mr. Gamin4Hope received, rankupacademy.gg. Check out the website, check out the testimonials. We also have a Twitter account now at Rankup Academy. Ad, yes. The only ad that you have ever seen from Awkward was his own service. I'm willing to take sponsors. Just give me some good shit. All right, you guys have a lovely day, lovely night.